Greetings guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Monette and this is my channel, Evolve with Monette. I'm a professional intuitive empath and today I'm going to be talking to my Divine Feminine Collective. Roll call guys, how are you doing? It has been so good to share some emails and communications back and forth with some of you guys who have been telling me about your journey and have had questions of which I will try to answer for you in the future here as I make new videos. But today's video is a little different than what we normally see in this community. Usually we're all kind of living in the fantasy of manifesting back in, right? Our divine counterpart. I have decided to walk away completely from that fantasy. One, because I genuinely lost that loving feeling. You know that what is it? I've lost that love and feeling and it's gone, 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 gone. It is gone. Bring back that loving feeling, right? That may be something that she'll pray for mercy with in the coming years as life unfolds in a way that she did not imagine. And it's something that I will never acquiesce to for myself because that loving feeling is gone. And she may never admit that she'll pray for that. But I have a premonition, and my premonitions are usually pretty good. What I will say is I actually recommended for her to go boldly into her future. When you're leaving a relationship, the dismount matters, you know? It matters how you leave it. People fall in and out of situations all the time, and they have feelings for new people, and life is tough to predict. There will be variables that test your relationship, any relationship, friendship, lovership, work relationship, business partnership, and they are tests that are given by the universe to see how much you want to ascend to the next level, how much you want to evolve. And she was given some tests and she failed them miserably, and I was given tests and I failed a few myself. But regarding her, I passed the test. Another video coming up about passing the test and a direction that my angels gave me about our relationship and why it had to be a certain way. But for right now, let's talk about the karmic and your divine or distorted counterpart. In this video, I will reference it for me, how I am experiencing it, and how I experienced it, which was, in the last couple of years, very distorted. There were many years where it felt divine, and I plugged in and honored those years. But I must pay homage to the lesson, to the teacher, and to the reality of a situation that was far from ideal for me, the divine feminine, in the connection. I told her to go to her karmic in the last communications that we had because it was clear she had valued and made the investment. And I am one who values investments. I value time and energy. I value connection. Sorry guys, gotta adjust here, we're slipping. I value time and energy. That's what she was doing. She got caught slipping. My angels are funny. I value time and connection. I value investment. I value communication. And I realized that all of the techniques that I had taught her about connecting with other humans, I always felt she was a bit of an alien. Now I realized that what I was describing was covert narcissism. Thank you, therapists. Thank you, therapists. Many therapists. Thank you. Thank you, angels. Yeah, I had a lot of help from a lot of different angles, but I now understand exactly what I was dealing with and why I never felt like she connected on Earth in so many ways. But one of the things that I decided to do at the end of that dismount, I decided to advise her, give her advice that may seem antithetical to the divine feminine and divine masculine journey, to the twin flame and twin soulmate, or whatever you want to call us, to this collective. I said, go. I said, go. Carry on, my wayward son. Carry on, my wayward past life child. Carry on, my partner of lifetimes. Lifetimes. I'm exhausted. Just go. Go. I don't have any more blood to give. I bled for a year over our connection. I was in the hospital several times. I've said that in several videos, but it needs to be understood. There was a price that I paid for my disobedience to hold on to a thing that was not mine and never was, not really. It was an illusion. It wasn't fantasy. It was built on a faulty foundation, a foundation that had really low vibrational supports, things that affect any relationship, societal dynamics, race, religious factors, all of those things. It was too many things, and she was too weak to manage it, and that's just the truth of it. In her sober moment, she'll admit the truth. It was too much. She was not exactly an ambitious energy regarding maintenance, anyway, of our relationship, but she was. This is why I said to let go, because she was for somebody else. I saw in her the possibility of hope. I saw all of the potential that I had waited for and invested in, and thought, if I can just extract this, then this would be wonderful, right? I wanted a return on my investment, an ROI. I wanted to get something back from what I put in. And I had predicted the end of our relationship, but beyond predicting it, what I had done is known intuitively that she was going to fall in love and that we were going to be separated. I had told her the whole time it happened, even though we didn't discuss and talk about exactly what was happening, because she lied, gaslit, manipulated, and played games instead of just being a woman. Be a man, a woman about it. Be a man about it. Maybe your divine masculine wasn't a man or a woman about the way that they triangulated you. And then she got brazen. She overplayed her hand. And that's what finds us in this situation. There wasn't anything I didn't think I couldn't fix with her, but when she involved a third party, it was a miracle, y'all. It's the first time in my life I saw her give selflessly to somebody else. She never did it for me. She never did it for anybody. Maybe her son, but no. She was always selfish. There were times even when I would make like treats and I would bring him up, and I said, give a couple to the Karmic. Weird dynamic, right? We were best friends, so I knew who the Karmic was, but I knew that she was lying to me about the relationship, and I was like a good mom because I've had parental energy with her in the past, and I was like, I know this is happening, just share these damn things with her. And she was like, I think one's enough. I was like, babe, if you selfish with her, like, you're a lost cause. I was like, you can't even share with this person that you're throwing our relationship away for? Wild. I tested her all the time because I knew. So after a while, it became a funny game. And I remember one time specifically, I'll get back to the point, but I said, man, I have a feeling that Tinsley's gonna leave her husband and she's just gonna be reckless and wild sexually. And I kept talking about it for like about 2 minutes, and the whole time, y'all, I was on the phone with her, but I wish I could have seen her face, because what was there was Duping Delight. You should have heard her just like, yeah, she was losing her mind because she is effing the F out of this girl, knowing what she's doing, knowing how she betrayed our connection. And I just wanted to see. I gave her a million chances to tell the truth, right? She never took one. Freaking sociopath. But anyway, back to the business of why. This brings us to why I said go be with that person that matters that much to you, that you would lie to my face, me who has had your back. Yeah, it wasn't valued. She didn't value me, and she didn't make an investment. I am thrilled to announce to the collective, which may not be happy for you to hear or may trigger you, but the person that was my divine counterpart or distorted counterpart is really in love. And for the first time, I saw them do and be things that they never could or would be with me, because I always covered their ass. And I made sure that there was not much that they had to do in our connection. And she fell deeply in love, obsessively in love. Texted me in the period of about 2 or 3 months, 259 times, I do believe. In the period of like a month and a half, 2 months, I went to type in somebody else's name that started with the first 2 letters of Tinsley, and that thing came up, and it was an Android phone, if you know that, so it showed me a search, and I wasn't looking for it, man. When your angels show you something, and I brought it up to her, I was like, homie, is there a problem? I let her go because our relationship wasn't our relationship anymore. I brought it to her attention that the obsession may have tipped, but I think maybe she's with her real counterpart, and that's what brings me to why I said go. I dismounted like Simone Biles, and I gave her beautiful words. I hope you dance, go be free. I said everything kind because I was too hurt at that time and knew that if I unloaded on her, then I would have eviscerated her. I would have eviscerated her. We were on text and phone. We were miles, thousands of miles away from each other. Oh, God, a universe, a galaxy away from each other by the end of it. And it's because it's what she wanted. She interfered. She involved somebody in our relationship, and then started to use me to emotionally masturbate about it. She knew exactly what she was doing. She knew she was all in, and then she wanted me to be her therapist, counselor, and empath as I had been her whole life. And I thought, sure, we can play this game. I know my role as a best friend. If you're in love with someone, as I predicted you would be, and you cop to it, even though it's uncomfortable, because this was a point of contention in our relationship, because our friendship started to be eclipsed by this other relationship. That's normal when we fall in love, guys. So don't think that I'm unreasonable. I'm not. But the situation was such that I brought it to her attention, and I was waiting, sitting back. I'm like, you know that I am a professional intuitive. You know that I've made predictions about your life that are true. Why on earth would you try me this way and think that I don't know what you're doing, which is insane. You're my family. I'm super connected. We're partners. I'm super connected. And she didn't want to just man up and be like, oh yeah, I'm doing this thing, or I fell in love, or I know what we talked about, and I know you think she's dangerous, but I can't, like, I help it, I love her. If she would have done that, I would have fallen back and played my position. I will never argue with you about a relationship like that. If you feel that that's what you need, I would have supported you when support needed to be given, as I have done, and pulled you out of every fire you ever put yourself in. But she didn't want to play fair, and so I watched her and let her play dirty. I gave her enough rope to hang herself, and when I couldn't take it anymore, I said, game over, dismount, 10s across the board, I'm out. And I don't think that it's something that she saw coming, and I knew that she needed to be in the direction that she was going. She put too much time and energy, and I know how manifestation works. Tinsley wanted to win. She wanted Tinsley to win. She started to devalue me, be suspicious, not exactly strong in her own philosophies and thoughts, could be easily swayed. I looked at it like a parent. I watched her sneaking out of the window like parents do, you know? I knew what she was doing, and I knew how it was happening, and I thought, oh honey, these girls aren't your friends. But I, of course, would have been the hater. So in the end, I had to just say, go. You can go your own way. I'll never try to stop you, and I'll never want you back. It's that moment where you say to your kid, or you say to your lover, or you say to your spouse, or you say to anyone significant in your life, if you walk out of the door, it's okay. I know you got to live your life, but you never come back, especially because of the way she treated me. I mean, there is places where you can return home to, but it means that you were a good steward while you were there. She was not a good steward of our relationship. She did not manage it well. She did not balance things well, and she thought she was doing swell, and that's what's hilarious. That's what's hilarious, is she really thought, like, I'm killing the game right now. Like, I am doing this so good. I'm getting her back for whatever weird fake imagined thing in her covert narcissist brain, whatever injury that I put on her. I'm making her jealous. I'm getting my other partner jealous. I remember sending her something, and I specifically said, please don't, like, rile anybody up. I was very conflict avoidant, and she sent me a picture, and it was of the thing I sent her, and she was sending it to Tinsley because she wanted her to feel jealous, and she wanted to teach her, this is how you treat me. I like gifts. And so this is how she treats me, so are you going to treat me that way? And she did let me know. This is a lovely bracelet Tinsley had. I remember being at her house and perfume rolled somewhere, and we both had the same kind, and I knew that it was a gift from Tinsley. She was so frustrated because it had rolled away. That kind of angst, the energy, the first day she saw her, when she walked into the office, she called me and was shook by her energy. Overwhelmed. She was breastfeeding. I'll never forget. Weird, yeah? It was a detail she mentioned. When Tinsley started to reveal her body parts to make it clear, like, hey, I play on this side of the field, because they're in the deep south where sexuality is repressed and relationships are never exclusive. I have some work coming up about that. I learned a lot in this connection about myself and about people and the things that we'll do. But the way that she loved her, and it was meant to be. Now what I'm looking at is a love story. I'm not looking at just a situation ship amongst people having situationships. If Tinsley would expose herself, say, here's my vagine, would you like to take a peek at the office? That's a deep love. I don't know that kind of love. I don't know. I'm a little bit more conservative. What maybe it was fun and wild and magical and sassy. Maybe it was sassy. I don't know. But that's what I looked at her and I was like, girl, I don't want anything to do with you. Nothing. It's the baby bird syndrome is a myth, right, guys? You know, if a mom, it's not true that if a human touches a baby bird that they'll never touch it again. But the energy for me is that once she defiled the sanctity of our connection by just being a liar and a sociopath, then I was like, whelps, that's about it. That's all, folks. It was really simple and easy for me. It was hard. I'm not gonna lie. It took a couple years. It wasn't just like bing, 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 I'm done. But once I knew for a fact that she was deeply in love, I felt like my job is done. My job was done. As a soulmate, I had incarnated here to help her get through the parts of life that were difficult, and I walk away with my head held high knowing that I did an integral job. I truly gave her every support and foundation and everything. There's a little thing by Winnie the Pooh. I knew we would be in separation, and I saw it not long after I left her house, and it just brought me to tears. Now I watch it today and I think God's hand was in this the whole time. I taught her everything. I'll see if I can find it and link it below. It's a quick little clip about Pooh and Christopher Robin talking to each other. And Christopher Robin is advising Pooh what to do if they ever get separated and how special he is. That's what I did throughout our whole relationship. I don't feel that she is that special. I feel like Janae Aiko's line, "You are not special until I made you so." I invested a lot into her and thought she was something that she obviously is not. And it's fine. That doesn't mean she can't excel in what she is. If she's going to be a con artist, as my mother taught me, be the best con artist that you can be. My mother didn't teach me that. My mother used the street sweeper as an example, but she was like, if you are a street sweeper, be the best street sweeper you can be, and not even the angels can call you into question. Well, my love, if you are going to be a con artist, con away. Be the best one you can be. It looks like you picked your Clyde or your Bonnie. I don't know what your role dynamics are, but you pick somebody to do that with. And so that's why, guys, I said stay with her. You want to be Bonnie and Clyde riding down the highway. Yeah. Read that story. See how that ends. See how that ends. That's what they walked into. What they walked me into is probably my first million. And that's why I said go. Because I know if I ever talk to her or encounter her again, the opportunities that have flooded into my life will disappear, because she was a blessing blocker. And attached to the energy of her lover, I'd really not really come up against anything like that before. I always knew she had it in her. She would betray me for little things. Little guys she was talking to gave her attention. She would just be really cruel and devaluing. We all need attention, and narcissists, covert narcissists specifically, need the most. So that's why I did not fight for the connection. I did silently and quietly when she didn't know that I was. But then I was like, I'm good. I can manifest a real person that exists and that it can bring me real pleasure and actually be a kind person who shares energy and who is loyal and who cares about me and wants to travel with me and anticipates my needs the way I anticipated hers. The fortunate part of me manifesting new friendships or energies is that I know how to reciprocate. That's not something she knew about. But I watched her give of herself selflessly to her lover. And I know that she does. She learned something from me. And I was proud of her, even in my sadness and bitterness in the beginning. I was proud of her because I thought she got it. The student has become the teacher. I thought it was going to go well and it was going to be an evolved lesson and we would chuckle together one day and laugh about the growth and the twists and turns of life. I didn't know. I thought I was living The Notebook. I didn't realize that it was really The Shining. It didn't turn out the way that I thought, but that's how soulmates go, y'all. You got to just chalk an L up. You win some, you lose some. She just lost a good one. But she manifested something new, fun, excitement, zippity-doo-dah, sexy time, all the things that she needed desperately enough to ruin a family. She'll learn lessons in that. She'll come out. Maybe she'll redeem herself. Maybe she'll find a new partner. It's not me. It's not me. That's one thing I know for sure. Her, Karmic, and her. And that's why I told her, run to her. Ooh. I can't sing, y'all. Run to her. Go. Do what you want to do. But what her, Karmic, and her did for me is put me in the course of a deeper integration with my identity. My divine masculine and feminine are integrated. I am better. I am smarter. I'm wiser. I am deeply grateful for the experience, even in its treachery, because it taught me that there are wolves in the world, and hyenas and tarantulas and scorpions, and you'll encounter them. And if I'm heading into business and a spiritually career-based business, I'll have to be able to discern those wolves from the sheep. She was a sheep in wolf's clothing, or a wolf in sheep's clothing. She taught me something about paying attention. People don't have your best interest at heart. They're ultimately selfish, cravenous, and hateful. They're spiteful and jealous. And your best friend will be the Judas that stabs you right in the heart. So go to where you want to be at, is what I said. And if you have a divine masculine who is making you triangulate and making you struggle and think, I don't know what to do in this connection, how do I get through this? Release it, mama. Release it. Don't be in that game, because you are better than that. And you had to learn some lessons about self-esteem, maybe familial pathology. That was one of the things that I had to learn, was about my familial pathology, my natural inclination to love somebody so deeply who was 100% unavailable. I have this picture here on my desk. Excuse me, I have this picture here on my desk. Seltzer water, y'all. It's my favorite. I have this picture here on my desk to remind me to never forget the lesson. I used to have this hidden away. And as this started to unravel over the last year, I put it out. And my dad's the one who walked me through the dismount. He was just like her, lecherous and a womanizer. And he was unavailable. Look at this picture. Look at our body language. I am deeply, intently staring into his face and eyes, trying to figure out what is wrong with him, how to fix him, what he needs, how to love him, how to have him love me. And he's looking off into the distance, disconnected, cold, rife with mental illness and a narcissism and an abusiveness that was breathtaking. If you don't fix your pathology, guys, you will repeat it in other relationships. I have finally integrated and healed what was broken in me regarding my father. That made me love someone like her, because she never loved me. I don't think he did either. He started to show himself now and make amends. He's crossed over and he's come through in various weird ways, paranormal ways that are very normal to my life. I'll make a video about that more deeply. Yeah, he came through and he saved me and he helped me. His dismount would not have been as kind as mine was. He was notorious for cussing people out and being incredibly physically violent. I don't have that in me. I could cuss you out. I don't have the violence part in me, thank God. But I definitely have the awareness now that I don't have to repeat this infinitesimally, and I don't have to be abused. I don't care what she'll justify it as, because she couldn't fathom that it was abusive, because she wasn't on the receiving end of it. But now she'll be. She chose somebody who is abusive, who is chaotic, who is mentally ill, who is unstable. Isn't that interesting how that goes? Who is demanding, who is greedy, who needs and doesn't replenish. The poetic justice, guys. Let them go to the thing they think is so magical. Let them go where the grass is greener. Let them go to the place that makes them feel their bliss. I guarantee you that after a while, it won't just be this that they miss. It'll be stability, calmness, groundedness. I think that she can make a life with her. I advised her to, because both of them are chaotic, and it means that they both can be jealous and worried about who the other one's cheating with. I don't like that life. I don't want that life. If I got somebody in my life and they're a partner and a life partner, if you don't pick up the phone for a couple days, I'm cool, but I want to know in my spirit that I can trust where you say you're at. I can't trust anything about her. That's why I didn't fight for that connection. She wants to know if her wife is going to be sleeping with her husband or not, or if her wife is going to be sleeping with the bridesmaid that she's the bridesmaid for, or the girl at work, or the best friend. She loves that. That kind of drama makes her excited. She thought that was fabulous. I was looking at it and I was horrified. And also horrified that she'd made it part of my life. All of their instability and craziness, and pick up the damn phone and Woo, I never treated her that way, but it's what she wanted, it's what she loved, and it's what she manifested, because she hasn't worked out her family pathology. She only knows the chaos and the excitement of abuse. Trust me, I relate. I used to think relationships had to be that way, that if we weren't fighting and we weren't kicking and it wasn't horrible, that we weren't loving, because what I saw from my dad was his abuse. And I remember sitting in the back of the van as he yanked a cab driver through a window because me and my mom were trying to escape. And he had a gun in one hand and this woman in the other. And I remember being all the way at the back of that little, it was like a VW bug, and thinking, this is exciting. This is what love is like. Yeah, it really impacts you. And when I watched Sleeping with the Enemy, I remember being warped even then, young child still, maybe, I don't know, 10, 11, 12. I don't remember how old I was when that came out. I have to look. Maybe it was 89. I don't know, guys. You tell me in the comments. I remember watching that and feeling like in the beginning, wow, he really loves her. I thought love had to be possessive and obsessive and jealous. And my soulmate, same. Just because I don't deal with her doesn't mean that we didn't have a similar infliction. She thought it did too. She could say she didn't want to be committed, but she's in a full commitment. She could say she didn't like abusive, possessive energy, but she loved it. She loved it so much and she ran right into it. It took me lots of years to heal the mistaking of the adrenaline pumping when someone was abusive with them loving me. I've never... I never understood for a long time that there was a difference, and now I really do. Love doesn't have to be like that. So if you're with a partner and you're holding out hope for a divine counterpart who thinks that love has to be that way, it doesn't. Don't stay. Walk into your freedom. Walk into a new day. Don't let them mind F you and brainwash you into thinking that you need to be subservient to less than. It was less than what I received. It will be less than what she receives, but it's what she chose. The karmic lesson will be tripled, doubled, quadrupled, because she fought so hard for it. She will get it in full. It's unfortunate. I know I'm repressing the smile, but it's an irony. There was a test. She had a lot of outs. We always have outs when we're in a situation that doesn't feel right for us. Take your outs, guys. Free yourself and tell them, good luck with your new wife, your husband, your partner, whoever you chose. I wish you the best. I truly do. I know it will happen because it happens to be a hazard of my job. I kind of get a heads up. I'll let them figure out how that ends for them. But I pushed it away because I knew that that was not a place I could dwell. And I don't think Divine Feminine is a place you should dwell. You're nobody's second best. You made an amazing life for whoever you loved and gave them plenty of opportunities to choose you. And this time you got to do the greatest love of all, which is to choose yourself. Rewire your brain. Love is not abusive. Love doesn't hurt. Love is not aloof and withholding. Love is present. Love shows up. Love holds you and honors you. It's not always perfect, guys. It's easy, but I'm super determined to make sure I encounter a love in this lifetime where I can relax in it. I never, ever could relax around my dad or around her. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for sharing some energy with me. Come back next time. Comment below about your story, your love, your family pathology if you want to. It helps us all heal. And we'll continue to evolve together.